because, you know, like I said last week, I didn't notice it until yesterday that there was some mix-up, and we all know it's due to the COVID situation. So we got the one game tonight, closing out week 7. Chicago at Miami. Miami. Why do I keep saying Miami? Chicago at the LA Rams. So we move along and we go into week 8. We look at Thursday. Falcons at the Panthers. I'm going with Teddy and the Panthers.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take care of him.
I think the Falcons are in a way where not so much just playing out the rest of the slate, but it's going to start being a rebuilding for them. And trade deadline is approaching. I don't think they'll move anybody before the trade deadline. There was a lot of talk about Julio Jones or possibly even Matt Ryan being moved in that, but not really sure how that's going to play out. So I'm going to go with Teddy Bridgewater and the Falcons in that game. I mean, I'm sorry, in the Panthers. Panthers with Baldy as well.
Yes, sir.
Sunday, Steelers Ravens. I like what the Steelers are doing right now. Still some questions about the Ravens. Like Baldy keeps using that word identity. I think identity is going to be the word for the day. Still don't have a definitive identity on what the Ravens are. I mean, you could arguably say that they are one of the teams with the up and coming quarterback style of play, the mobile quarterback. You could easily say that, or they have a running game as well. So they need to get their identity together. I'm going with the Steelers on the road, just because I think the Steelers are a little bit more solidified as far as their identity, and what they're gonna do.
I agree wholeheartedly, brother. I'm taking the Steelers.
The Rams and the Dolphins. So it will be the first game for Tua as the official starter for the Dolphins. The Rams are up and down, but because of that defensive line, the players on that defensive line, I am going to go with the Rams in that game.
Yeah, I'm going with the Rams. I don't think. I still think like right now with Miami, Fitz is, he hurt.
Yeah, He's hurt. Yeah, we know Fitz is Fitz.
And
the young guy coming in. I mean, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
For him to get his first start against the defensive front like the Rams have. And then you got arguably the best corner on that side of the ball too, and then Jalen Ramsey. So it's gonna be tough for him. The Jets and the Chiefs in KC, and like I said, somewhat of a subpar performance as far as stat wise for Kansas City. So I mean the Jets need to look out. I'm going with the Chiefs at home.
You already know.
Yes, indeed.
Yep,
Vikings and the Packers, division game, tough game. We know what Kirk Cousins is. I'm going with discount double check and the Packers.
I'm going Green Bay.
The Colts and the Lions. After showing me what they showed me yesterday, Matt Stafford, pretty good. That's it. The Lions are back home. Frank Reich is the head coach out there. Not really, again, like we said, the word of the day, identity. No real identity on what the Colts are going to be, even with the addition of, what's the quarterback?
Over at,
the former Chargers quarterback, Phillip Rivers. Still not sure there, so I'm going with Detroit at home.
You going
to play the devil's advocate?
I'm going to play the devil's advocate.
You going to go with the Colts?
I'm
That's
going
cool.
to go with the Colts.
I'm good with that. The Raiders and the Browns.
Surprisingly enough, Browns been playing, man. I gotta give them some credit.
Yes, indeed.
They've been playing, and I'm as much as I give me the Browns. Give me the Browns.
That's cool because I'm going with the Browns too. I mean, what I was going to say about the Browns now is, like I mentioned in the opening, it's in some type of injury to Odell Beckham, but Still got Jarvis Landry. And I'm still on the fence about Baker.
Right.
But I give Baker the same thing I'm doing like for Carson. I'm giving him the B minus for effort because he will try to get that game, although it may end up being detrimental for him sometimes, like it has been for Carson. So I'm going to go with the Browns there.
Yeah.
The Titans at the Bengals.
I'm taking Tennessee.
I'm going with Tennessee as well. That running game in Tennessee is just
yes, William
immaculate.
Trost. I just went against your Lions.
The Patriots and the Bills. Considering the way Cam played and considering the uncertainty as far as us on the outside looking in at what's going on in New England, I like that Bills defense.
Yeah, I'm going with Buffalo.
Josh Allen has been playing a lot better, so it's an even there. The Bills. The Chargers are at the Broncos. I'm not sure about the Broncos quarterback situation. I think they got some things to fix there. I like the young boy. Over there, Herbert, over in L.A. So I'm going with the Chargers.
I'm gonna go with Denver.
Going with the Broncos.
I'm going with Broncos.
Saints and the Bears.
Somebody gotta lose.
That's right. Somebody gotta lose. The Saints and the Bears.
This is a tricky one.
Yeah.
Because the Saints game yesterday came down to the wire. It wasn't no. It's something missing over there right now. Chicago
Michael
defense
Thomas.
is balling.
Michael Thomas is
Well, yeah, that's the main thing. That's the main thing.
Yeah, listen.
There's something missing over there.
The Bears defense is playing very, very good right now. They're playing very well right now, if you will correct my English. And Nick Foles, I always said it, not a starter per se from game one throughout the season. I always felt that he's like the ideal backup quarterback. But I think a couple weeks back, the sideline conversation that was had between him and Matt and the coach, where he felt like he could have been going up tempo and the coach didn't want to. I think it's a little bit of a respect thing building there as far as coach and quarterback, as far as quarterback playing on the field.
Right.
And I also think that Nick Foles is beginning to get a little comfortable there. And we all know what he can do when he gets comfortable.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with the Bears.
Yeah, I'll take the Bears on that.
49ers are at the Seahawks.
I think our defense at this particular time has found a little rhythm. I like defensively what they've done in our coverages, not giving up big plays. But what's killing us right now still is our inability to truly run that ball, because Raheem Mostert is hurt. Tevin Coleman hurt. You already know how I feel about old boy that came over from Minnesota. I ain't never been sold on him, but we're using him in a way that we shouldn't. We're trying to run him, and he's a catching running back. He's really not. So it's gonna be tough. I honestly believe we can beat them in Seattle.
Yeah, that's where the
by
game
at
is
least
this week.
by at least 3. I think we can beat them in Seattle. So I'm gonna go with my boys. I think we can get them.
I'm going with the Seahawks.
Yeah.
For just some of the things that you just mentioned. Some of the uncertainty as far as the utilage of the personnel, and some of the uncertainty on the defense, and the comfort level of that Seattle offense, because that defense is pretty bad right now.
Yeah.
But just that comfort level of that offense, and coming off of a loss, the way that they lost yesterday.
Yeah.
it's going to be very imperative. It's going to be some urgency there for them to get back on track immediately and not let this funk begin to grow and linger. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks at home. Cowboys at the Eagles.
I'm going with. I think the Eagles gonna beat them.
I'm picking the Eagles.
Yeah, I think the Eagles gonna beat them.
Eagles.
Even though you know it's a division game and all that good stuff, but they terrible, man.
But like you said, the Cowboys' offense was terrible. Andy Dalton got knocked out under concussion protocol, so he will more than likely miss this game. You know, he may come back next week, but he will more than likely miss this game. And the way that the defense has been playing, I think it kind of takes me back to what some of the things I said about the Cincinnati game. Young quarterback, uncertainty, and with everything going on in Dallas with some undisclosed players calling out the coaching staff about their unpreparedness week to week. And I think at this point, the Eagles may possibly understand or realize that if they get this win, they can actually, for what it's worth, take control of this division at this point. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Eagles on that one.
Next Monday night, closing out Week 8, the Bucks are at the Giants. We see the new addition. I'm going with the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay.
So with that being said, those are your picks from us for Week 8. Again, as always, the schedule will go up tomorrow. You will have from the time the schedule goes up tomorrow until 4, maybe 5 p.m. Thursday to get your picks in to be eligible for your lunch on us.
Yeah.
Yep, we've had some winners so far. Most recent winner was Tay.
Tay won twice already.
He's won twice already. We've had another winner. We've had a winner all the way from Louisiana, Texas. I'm not sure where she is right now, but you remember Tiffany Singleton won, and we've taken care of her. So you can check with any of them, and it's real, you know. In some fake Cash App, if we meet up and give you a gift card somewhere, you will win lunch on us for your support and participation in that. So let's get right into it. Baldy had something that he wanted to bring in.
Yeah. So we all know that Deion Sanders has been named the head coach. And we knew that the NCAA was going to be coming with some stuff. So he's over at Jackson State. Yeah, we knew they was coming. Because they're trying to, it seems like, you know, you got to interrupt the flow of something that's positive. They bringing something positive. So, Bird, Kareem Green, thanks for sending that out. I definitely, I had it in my other notes too, because it had popped up on my feed earlier this week. So thanks for that reminder as well. So here we have Deion. He's getting about $300,000 a year, 4 years. The stadium itself seats 60,000. So to give him $300,000 plus bonuses is not nothing, because they will sell that joint out.
Definitely.
From the rip.
Especially because Deion's the coach.
He's the coach. And, you know, it's not like he's replacing a guy that was that was a winner. They were 6-9 last year, hasn't had a winning season since 2013.
Right.
So
we know what the defense.
We already know that what he's going to be bringing to that school is going to be something special, which is going to turn into a lot of top recruits moving towards HBCUs. So that's going to be a difficult thing. So the NCAA brought up this case against Jackson State that predates Deion. This was all on that last coach. And they just said that they negotiated a resolution which occurred with 34 players had practiced without having the acceptable eligibility to do so. That was one of the things. They weren't eligible to practice, but 34 players and the school was functioning together, which they didn't have the clear from the NCAA. A former staff member made a payment of $300 to a player's godmother. So we know once the funds start switching hands, you already know NCAA's on it.
Yep.
They must have already threatened the student about losing his eligibility. Somebody had to come clean.
Right.
And then there was a impermissible tutoring assistance given to a transfer student to help him gain eligibility. So these are situations that are minor. Technically, they're minor, but it cuts into your scholarship money. Absolutely. When you have these things. Major schools is doing $300. $300? That ain't nothing. These jokers cutting $100,000 checks.
They get money in envelopes.
Yeah, man. Parties. So they they have to do their job, and part of their job is to expose some corruption. Right. And when you expose some of that corruption, and now you got a new coach that inherits that corruption, that's their way of saying we watching you.
And you know what I mean? And then it's that fact that they know what we know.
Right.
Like you said, Deion Sanders.
Mm-hmm. And they know that these kids next year will be able to receive some money and get some.
Some of the names on his coaching staff now. T.O. Warren Sapp.
What it
Jerry
is,
Rice's name is thrown around in that mix as well.
And what it is
so you've got, not to cut you off real quick, but you've got Hall of Famers, champions that, like we talked off air, that will totally prepare these young men
for the next level
on and off the field, going in. So the scary part for mainstream NFL and all the major minds or whatever behind that is, oh no, these young African American kids are going to have the upper hand on these other recruits that we may want to push. So we got to do something to. We got to put some speed bumps in that. We're not going to be able to completely stop it because of the staff. So you're not going to be able to completely stop it, but we can slow it down. And figure out how we going to deal with it. So they're doing whatever they can to do that.
Yeah, and like you said, the preparation that's going to go into that's going to transition to the next level. You got 3 guys,
unprecedented, 3
Hall of Famers, who did it on the biggest stage possible. The workouts that
2 of them from those types of schools,
and the workouts that those guys had to do to become the player that they became is now going to be put on there's an expectation that's going to be put on those players that other teams don't have.
Yep, it's going to be that.
It's going to be that
kind of Alabama effect on.
Man, you're about to change a lot of lives, conference. Man. About to change a lot. And like we said, it's all recruiting. Yeah. The recruiting is going to be. Man, I'm trying to go to Jackson State now.
Like, okay, I'm getting recruited by Nick Saban. All right, Nick Saban is good. He runs the SEC, whatever. Okay, but wait, Jackson State is historically HBCU, but the coaching staff trumps Nick Saban, and that's no discredit to Nick Saban and what he's done. With Alabama and sending kids to the NFL. Black, white, otherwise, or whatever. But the overall total experience of going to a Jackson State and playing for Hall of Famers, NFL Hall of Famers, which is my dream because I'm playing football in college. This is my dream to get to the next level. So what better way to be prepared than get it from people that are just like me, who were succeeded at the highest level in that particular area.
And they were the greatest, arguably the greatest at their position.
Yep.
So it goes back to what we were saying before, years ago, when I said, man, I can't wait until these players start going to HBCUs. How's that going to change the landscape? Well, this makes perfect sense.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And the connection. So you got a guy like Deion, who other coaches, who other owners use his intellect as a barometer of who to draft.
Right.
Who to draft. So he's gonna say, man, I got this kid at Jackson State. I got 4 kids at Jackson State running 4 threes. He can propel them in a position that they could have never been in.
And now that you just said that, just brought up another point that we didn't really mention, but it just jumped in my head. The relationships that these guys have with NFL scouts and recruiters and teams.
Nobody's
and
going to the football games just to go for the halftime show. Because that black colleges, the halftime show is why you go.
That's right.
That's why you go.
Now you may pop up and see a New England Patriots representative at a couple of these games, man.
Right. It's going to be
some Green Bay Packers.
It's going to be some cats coming to these games.
And you know Pete Carroll. Let's take Seattle for another example. As much as he's done at USC and his gang, affiliated with the team members and all of that, and just the gang members in general, wouldn't be surprised if you got some staff from the Seattle Seahawks down there in some of these games.
Well, think about this television time that's going to happen. Because right now, Deion is bubbling the water. He's boiling it, and it's bubbling. Yes, so who's not going to want to see his debut game?
Right.
They're going to want to see the debut game. So you telling me that how many Jackson State games you saw?
Not many.
I might have seen highlights.
Yeah, highlights, yeah.
I might have seen highlights.
I've seen plenty of halftime shows.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Halftime shows. Plenty of battle with the bands.
What you see,
but
that's what we see.
The actual game,
nah. But so what's happening now is we're going to watch this Jackson State game. We're going to look at the quarterback. We're going to look at the running backs. We're going to look at everybody on there, and we're going to be identified with the players on that team for one reason and one reason only. Who's the coach?
Yep.
Now you're talking about 60,000 seats. I wonder when's the last time they had a sellout crowd at Jackson State. They're going to get it this year.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, indeed.
They're going to get it this year. Ticket sales go up, right? How much revenue? We're going to have to do a spot check on this.
Yeah.
A spot check on the revenue that Jackson State has had
to what's potentially coming,
to what the Deion effect is going to have on that revenue. I guarantee you the apparel is going to go out the roof.
Yeah.
I guarantee you the recruitment is going to go through the roof, because now you got Division I guys coming out of high school. Why wouldn't you want to go play for Deion?
Yep.
Why not?
Absolutely.
And I wouldn't be shocked if you start seeing more NFL guys become HBCU coaches, which is where we were saying 4 years ago, 5 years ago, we can't wait to see this wave.
Right.
The wave is here, brother.
That's right.
The revolution is going to be televised,
baby. It will
be
televised.
It's going to be televised, and there's going to be a bunch of conglomerates trying to advertise during those games that they've never had before.
Yep.
So, like Bird said too, it's going to help all the black colleges, but what's also going to happen is your HBCU broadcast and telecommunications is going to go through the roof, because now they're going to expect high quality for these games. Yeah. Well, who's your TV media broadcast?
It's going to kind of remind you like when the NBA, when the Lakers was on every other day or every weekend. Yeah. You're going to mess around and be seeing Jackson State somewhere.
I'm telling you,
every weekend or every other weekend.
I'm telling you, it's a nice wave.
I can't wait, man.
But the Deion effect, I want to see what that Deion effect is on that number.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Definitely. I definitely can't wait for that.
God forbid they go undefeated. Oh, they go undefeated. Man, listen, man. It's a wonderful problem. He got 4 years to get it together.
Yep.
I guarantee you, and I will say guarantee, I guarantee you, even if he's 500 in those 4 years, the revenue itself will have them extend the contract far longer than with that 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
They probably never. I'm gonna do some digging today. Yeah. I'm gonna do a little digging today, because it just triggered my brain. Like, man, well, I wonder what was the revenue? What was that revenue last year? I want to see what it is now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I know it's coming.
Yeah, it's getting ready to get blown out the water.
Yeah, man, this thing.
Definitely. Yeah, so thanks for Bird for bringing that up and Institute. Now that's something great. And, just definitely exactly what we do, what we like to do here on Sports Rap. So, it's opening that door. And we just talked about the football aspect of that particular part of the HBCUs. But like Baldy said, how many other NFL coaches will now look at that as an opportunity to be part of something historic. Because this is going to be historic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And it has the potential to gravitate over to other sports now. Like I said, we just mentioned the football aspect. But imagine, just like you said, the atmosphere, the potential boosting or super boosting of the revenue, where you have schools like that and they'll say, oh, wait a minute, football team did this.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna see, man.
It's less people on the basketball team.
Have you taken a look at their schedule?
No, I haven't.
All right, so let me punch it up real quick, just real quick.
Yeah, so why are you doing that again? It's less team members on the basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
So the football team can do this. And let's just hypothetically say one of these HBCUs ends up some type of way prying a Mark Jackson into a coaching position there. Same situation.
Mm-hmm.
All-star, premier NBA player. You know what he did as a coach. It could very well change the entire landscape of HBCU sports.
Oh, most definitely.
With the beginning here, like we said, with Jackson State. And like I said, if it can gravitate over to other sports, the possibilities are almost endless.
Mm-hmm.
And that will definitely have an impact on the national level, all the way across the board. Because now you'll have a lot more of these athletes taking a more serious look
Mm-hmm.
at some of these HBCUs, where they know they'll get the culture that they look for, and then they'll get the tutelage from coaches that look like them that have done it.
Yeah.
On a highly successful level. And then it automatically puts into their head, well, if they can do it and I'm playing under them, there's no reason why I can't do the same
Oh, most
thing.
definitely. Most definitely. You got, so the season starts in February.
Okay.
End of February. February 21st. You have Edward Waters, Florida. Mississippi Valley State. Grambling State, Alabama State, Prairie View A&M.
And folks, some of these names that you're hearing right now are not just football teams.
Right.
Grambling,
Mm-hmm.
Prairie View, these are like mainstays. These are like powerhouses in that HBCU realm.
Yeah, they got Jackson State Southern, Alabama A&M, Alcorn State, and then it goes into the SWAC. So you got a nice bit of football, and football is going all the way to May.
Yeah.
It's going all the way to May this year because they're starting late, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And normally you'll get more colder games. Now you get more warmer games.
Yep.
So I just want to
what
see.
it does in the warmer temperatures. It's going to bring more people out.
Oh, most definitely.
Some of that 60,000 may be standing room only.
Mm-hmm. And of course, and look, I'm just looking at the possibility, like my man Harry said. He said, "You ever seen Jackson State play? Then you know an undefeated season ain't gonna happen this year." Well, Harry, that's my point. I haven't seen them play like that. I just said wishfully thinking.
Yeah.
Hey man, what if it did happen?
Right.
All that's doing is spread more light on something. See, what people don't understand, let's just, historically speaking, let's just go back. Black colleges were created because we were not allowed to go to colleges of white students, with white students.
Yep. So we created our own.
There was a creation of black colleges for black students. We're not allowed to integrate.
Mm-hmm.
So, black colleges, voila. The black athlete for years only went to black colleges.
Yep.
When it turned into a money situation, one university had to say, "Hey man, listen, I don't care, but we need him.
Right.
His talent, I've seen this. You got to get him over here."
Mm-hmm.
And then that became a whole. The floodgates opened up. A lot of the talent that was at these black universities literally left the black universities. That's where you get the NCAA and these rules come in, because colleges were like, well, let's offer him some money to pull him away from there.
Mm-hmm.
You're offering poor kids money to go to a university.
Right.
Some did get paid. And then some players just wanted to prove that you put me at a Purdue or Kentucky, and I'll show you, because they ain't recruiting us.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'll blow them out the water. Because the talent pool there was not greater than the talent pool at the HBCUs.
Right.
Basketball was identical. It was the same way.
Mm-hmm.
To see those come 180 and start coming back to black colleges, I'm all for it. Should have been happening.
Yeah.
Should have been happening. But what happened was, when money's involved,
oh yeah, things change.
and you're Kentucky, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
Western Kentucky,
Yep.
Kentucky got millions of dollars,
I'm on TV every week.
and I'm getting funding from the government to function.
Yep. I'm on TV every week.
Even though I watch you and Pop Warner grow up.
Yep. I'm getting the best Nike gear.
Come on,
for
where I'm
free.
gonna go?
I'm going there.
You're gonna go to Kentucky
Absolutely.
because it's the most exposure you're getting. But if that exposure can come back to HBCUs,
It's a beautiful
I'm all
thing.
for it, brother.
Definitely a beautiful
All
thing.
for it.
Beautiful thing. That being said, wrapping up, great dialogue, great
Most
topics,
definitely,
great
brother.
additions from our viewers today.
Mhm.
Harry, thanks for that. Bird, thanks for that. Richard
Yes, sir.
Drummond,
Yes, sir.
Frank Milligan, Ivan Robinson, everybody that tuned in, Joanne Turner, everybody that tuned in today. We appreciate you as always. You know where to find us each and every Monday here on air, the station that keeps it 100, Heat 100 Radio, Sports Rap Podcast. The link is in the bios. You can find me on social media, mostly Facebook, the group Sports Rap Podcast.
Mhm.
Also Instagram and Twitter, more so Instagram at sportsrap_D. You know the webpage, sportsrapradio.com. The podcast can be iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And YouTube, Sports Rap TV. There's plenty of video up there. Some videos from last week are up. These videos will go up later this week, so you can chime in and check them in. And leave us some comments. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button. And also click that bell so you will be alerted when we upload new video. Baldy?
Most definitely, man. Like you said, you can get with me on Facebook, Aaron Baltimore, or you can get with me on Instagram, Ball75. And again, please go on there, watch the video. You got any questions, anything, put them in the comments
Put them in
section.
the comments. We'll read them, get back to you. If we don't get to you on social media, we'll bring it to you on air.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to do some picking today. Boss Lady wasn't here last week for our 5th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
She usually hooks us up with some stuff. Last time she decorated the studio for us. But we understand. You need your time. You need to be
Mm-hmm.
away. You need to be relaxed. But I don't know if this is ours or not, but I'm holding this up just to mess with you. We appreciate the gift. So we're going to be streaming all over the place now. Nah, I'm just kidding. Boss Lady, I had to do that just because I saw it sit here and I had to mess with you. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We will see you next week here in studio and all week on social media. Enjoy the liquid sunshine. For a minute, I thought the sun was getting ready to come out,
Mm-hmm.
but it went back in. So be safe as always and tune in to us. And we'll see you next week. Have a great Monday, folks.
Peace.